Andrew McGahon for the MacLife.com here backstage at the SSE Arena, standing alongside a victorious James Gallagher with an incredible first round submission. James, really seemed like this fight compared to your last fight, one of the criticisms that you yourself took away from it was being able to close the distance on a guy who didn't want to engage. It seems like tonight you had written all of those wrongs. Was there something that you had worked on specifically in between the last fight and this fight? Because the way you closed down the cage, your striking and able to do that just looked like a different guy completely.
Yeah, that's what I've been working on this past few, since my last fight. I just got stripped back to the gym and I worked on that with my coach Owen Roddy. So I've really been training a lot and putting the work in on the pads, and can't thank Owen enough for that. And I feel like I'm starting to become finding my feet. So I'm in there. I feel like I've found my way now, and this is it. And I'm still only 20 years old and forever evolving, and it's just growing. I can't wait to get back to the gym next week and figure out the mistakes that I made in this fight and make them better.
Do you think it works so well for you because you know that you have the grappling to rely on? So even though you're after saying you focused on the striking at this camp with Roddy, but when it hit the ground, we saw absolutely textbook clinical James Gallagher, including the knee slide, the leg drag past the mount, which is something that's been in your game since the very start.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like because I know my jiu-jitsu is so good, and like if you clinch, I'm going nearly like happy days. Like you've made my job easy. So I'm letting, like you seen, I jumped to the flying knee, and I'm like going hoping I land in the clinch, because I know once I grab in the clinch, then it's done. And when I was working with Owen, I was like about committing on the shots, and that's what I was doing today, is like commit. So having your head, alright, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 shots or whatever the shots are, and commit, and don't go until like you commit on them shots. So I'm committing on the shots and getting out of there. So if I'm going, alright, I'm going to fire a double jab, well, I'm committing on that double jab, and I'm not getting out of there until I land that double jab. And before it was kind of like I would have said, alright, I'm going to fire a double jab, and like threw one and then like hesitated on the next one, maybe got clipped or something, where now I'm like, I know I'm safe and I'm committing to it, and I'm still learning every day.
There seemed to be a bit more of a pop, a little bit more power in the shots as well. Is that bicep curls maybe or something in the gym? I'm not too sure.
I'm becoming a man. So no, but I feel like I'm filling into my weight class and becoming solid, and I've got like a new nutritionist as well, Kat from Fit Gods, and then I got my cardio from Health Matters, and then just working with all the boys in SPG, my coach John Kavanagh and Owen, Kiefer, Kane, Lee, all the boys, and been just pitting it in, and I'm growing, getting bigger, and always learning. And I feel like I still feel like I'm going to fill out and grow a lot more as a fighter and as a person. So it humbles me every time I fight. So it does. I feel humbled.
That's the next question, because your frame to me has always suggested maybe as when you got through the pro ranks a little bit more, maybe a drop to 135 could be on the cards. But do you feel that your body is actually just adjusting to the stage you're getting bigger, so that 145, even though it's your home now, will become maybe your more natural home in future?
Yeah, definitely. Well, this one I remember after my last fight I fought, and then I was coming back. Then I was told I got a fight, so the first thing I do then is like, alright, what weight am I? And I was up at 170 pounds. 170 pounds, and I wasn't like fat. I was in pretty decent shape. So I'm like, I was like, fuck. But then I got my good nutritionist on board, Kat. She delivers my food every day, and putting in the cardio from Sean with Health Matters, and then to make the weight. The weight cook, even though it's bigger, it gets bigger each time, but easier. So it does, and I feel great out there, and I feel strong, fit, and yeah, growing, getting better.
When we spoke during the week, you said one of the things you were looking forward to test and to show to everybody else is, even though he had a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that was your bread and butter. And it seems like you've now even developed a perfect style that incorporates your strikes into giving up the worst position. So you had the mount, but you knew from the strikes and the pressure that you had, he was going to give up his back. Yeah. And when you get someone's back, it just seems like it's a different story completely.
Yeah, if you clinch with me, you're done. And that's just the way it is. I just have that kind of game that I'm going to keep going until I get it, and have that pressure. And everyone looks. If you look at me, I'm not that big of a guy, but I guarantee if you grab a hold of me, you're going, fuck. He's a lot stronger than he looks, and that's the way I've always been. And I'm looking forward to seeing what I can bring to the next time. It's not even about the fight anymore. It's just about to see how much I'm going to develop for the next fight. Within these next now, London, May 19th, I want to be on that. And I'm so excited to get back to the gym and see how much I can grow for that.
Well, I suppose you've just given me a great segue in how we can finish this, because you did take the microphone. There is a name that they want. There is a name that's been tossed around in terms of AJ McKee. It seems like the fight that you want, but do you ever stop and maybe think that you're on a higher trajectory and that is the fight that maybe that he wants and maybe it's not the fight that you should take or that you want next?
He wants me. He sent sign a contract. What fucking contract? Like, I just fought, like, tonight I had my contract signed for this fight. They sent me a contract for that, I signed it. If they send me one for him, I'm going to sign him. But why, like, say, sign the contract when there is no contract? Now, if he wants me to sign a contract, tell him to go to Bellator, tell him to send me the contract, and I'll sign it, no problem. I'll fight anyone they put in front of me. But he wants me, and I'll fight whoever they put in front of me. And that's just the way it is. I'll smash his head in, no problem. He's an absolute pussy.
Perfect. I think you said that in the cage as well. Thank you very much, James. A great performance. And I will see you in London.